Yoga for healing. What time is it? I've been up for a while. 6:10. I'm like, why is my voice still cracking? And I haven't been speaking. I really haven't had any coffee. Did you know the sound you hear in the background of the handpan? That they want to stop the making of that instrument? It seems to me that they only want to make war and take everything away that's of peace. What's a handpan done to anybody? They may not even like it because it looks like the back of a tortoise shell or a turtle. Turtle Island. It's beautiful sounds. So beautiful, I even bought one of the little ones that you just... But I actually want the real thing, because I love the sounds of that. It looks like in the energy today, a lot of people are feeling the deceitfulness that they sent out sitting in their lap. They may even be seeing some of their partners face down. They can see the blood pouring from them. And they know what's coming for them also. For the betrayal. This is what they wanted for us. Right here. Do you see there's a sword from the temple of the head, in the neck, in the back where the heart would be, two actually, and completely down your kundalini? Take a second. Think about the chakras and how they've been sending these attacks, how they've been attacking our chakras. Yes, there's more than 7 swords here, but we have way more than 7 chakras, baby. Way more. And that's why they like to attack the nervous system. And I know that for a fact myself. But I'm still walking, and I still have all my limbs. And I will keep them, bitches, as well as my life. You've taken many lovers and men that have loved me, possibly to put fear into those to say, oh no, don't go over there, something strange, while they're doing the shit in the background. But you see, this is one thing that you guys don't think about, but the true ones do. And that's why we are at peace. Because the only ones that would fall for that mediocre bullshit are the weak jellybacks, not a true emperor. A true emperor does not need validation, approval, or to be pointed in the direction they need to go by another human, especially one less ranked than them, with less of a connection to source than them. You have been fooling yourselves and each other, and everything you're going through and will be going through, you brought upon yourselves. And everyone will know who did this to them. It is written, and you will be our footstools, as you are. You just don't know it yet. But that is the place you chose when you decided to go low and get down on your knees and worship a lesser vibration. So now you get to stay down on your knees. Possibly even a King of Pentacles. Yeah, this is going to be a rough read, but I'm getting this shit out. Because fuck you bitches. This is me punching you in the face. You dig? And you guys may hear me saying different terminology, different words, because I channel when I read, and I'll just let it flow. That's why I was going to just stick with Facebook and do my readings. But then for some reason they changed that and made it where you had to have 100 friends to go live. After I had already deleted and I was up in the hundreds. And I at that point I was like at maybe 54 friends. I said, ain't this some shit? Because they already recognized I was putting my readings on Facebook, writing them out. And I did that for a long time. Because I know what I'm working with. And my pace is the Most High's divine pace. I move as I'm guided. And they saw me disappear from YouTube for a minute and they thought they got the job done. Ha! Nah, baby, I was just resting. Developing more on my skills, you know? Because I ain't like y'all. I'm not just going to get on here and fake it to make it. Emperor energy. Someone that wanted to come in and give you a breadcrumb, but they want to come in and disguise as a emperor? How does that make sense? An emperor with a breadcrumb? Really? An emperor with a whole buttload of friends? I don't think so. What do we need to know about this emperor? Giving up, admitting defeat, yielding because of lacking of self-belief and having to surrender. Just as I thought. That little breadcrumb and wannabe glamorizing, think he the shit emperor that ain't shit. Because he got a bunch of Jezebels that ain't shit that think he the shit. Wow. That makes sense. It sure does. Because I told him to his face when he told me he can have 2 women on the floor in front of him doing they do as he tells them to. I said, that's because you had a bunch of hoes. You wouldn't have gotten away with that with me. And he knew that. But he wanted to test it. Now that he's pissed off because I kicked his ass to the curb because my ancestors and guides told me after COVID to kick that motherfucker out. And they kept screaming that in my ear, and I said, okay. And I did. But see, with this one, I already knew the energy. I knew I couldn't say, we done, and he would just walk out the door. I knew I would have to call the police so that he could be escorted out with everything in one swoop. So that's how I had to do it. And I am not one in favor of police, and they are not in favor of me because they've been in my home over 100 times. How many reports? 0. The past. In the past, they had it all. They had it all and they thought they were the shit because they were in a union with someone that was the shit. But they didn't realize that because they thought they were the shit, and the person that really was the shit wasn't giving a shit about who the shit. And in the future, and a lot of divine feminine and masculine have the same type story. In the future, we have our bloodline pure and clean. We have our lineage. We are breaking the curses, and these hoes don't like it. Well, so what? Suck my dick, bitch. I don't have one, but I'll get one for you. Because you'll take anything anyway. What do we have in the goal position? What is the goal position? What do we need to know about that? Their goal, they're trying to find some help because they're feeling guilt and shame, learning to try to cope, but they're having mental issues because they thought they was the shit. And now they're realizing everybody that thought they was the shit ain't shit. Bravo, bro. Bravo. You should have listened to the earth angel when she tried to tell your ass that everybody you was around ain't shit. But you wanted them. You thought it was funny along with them. Well, now that your magic's not magicking, your manipulation's not cunning, you're a waste of talent living in an illusion of self-deception, your spell work will never work on us. And I've actually told one of them 33-degree ones that too. I sat on the couch next to his stupid ass and asked him, "Did you do a love spell on me?" He looked at me like, "What the fuck?" I sure did. And in that same night, we were standing in front of my door as I was questioning him. He looked at me even more freaked out and said, "I didn't know your eyes turned that color," and ran out my front door. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him? But he was a meth head, apparently. Paranoia, schizophrenic, brought on by psychosis of using drugs or some shit like that. All of these grown men that are part of a group, and ain't none of them a piece of shit. Coming up against a matriarch was a wrong thing to do. Now, instead of sitting down, you about to be fucking laid down. Take it how it resonates. Because this breadcrumb offer that they were trying to use as a manipulative tool didn't work. Won't work. These readers you got out here flapping they big fat lips. Ugly motherfuckers talking about how fine they are behind the screen and show a picture and ain't got a neck. Advice? Yeah, I'm Queen of Swords, bitch. My words cut. And you ain't getting none of my energy. Except that. External forces. What are the external forces, Holy Spirit? They're trapped. This loser whore, 304 wannabe with the stank cooch is trapped. And I think this emperor wannabe is trapped with that stank hole. Good for them. That's justice. Ooh, I'm having to hold it in. I want to dance right now. Ooh. Oh my goodness. I am cracking up, laughing inside, feeling the joy, feeling the excitement, because my words are power. You gotta go and get a group of people and light candles and jump on one foot, clap your hands and dig in one ear. Each other's ears, as a matter of fact. Suck each other's you know what's. Yeah, but you liked that. So go ahead. Enjoy. Stay your ass over there and go into my Akashic Records one more time and see what happens to you. I already saw one of you bitches stuck in a plane where you do not want to be. I saw you. I saw your face. You looked like you were just a ball of wax just melting. And at the same time, in the most excruciating pain I've ever seen. And that is the truth. That is what I saw. But there were others. Hope and fear. Hope and fear. That they would have to be stuck in solitude, confined spiritually, and forced to look at themselves as they are. Their worst fears coming to reality. This is what they can think about with their future plans. This is what they're progressing toward. Looking ahead. The whole group of them. Seen and unseen. Heard and unheard. All realms, dimensions in the flesh and in the spirit. External. What else do we need to know for the outcome? They are fallen. All of them in union together are fallen. Give me another card on this star that's in spiritual jail, their own mental hell, for trying to stop justice and the forward movement of a Queen of Cups. You were trying to block a star, Queen of Cups, from justice and moving forward. This is the hoe that wanted to destiny swap, but sorry, bitch, you cannot fit my crown. Your head is too big. They're trying to balance things out. They're still trying to put in effort. They're hanging in the balance. They're not balanced. Give me one on this justice sideways. An Empress. Give me a card on this Empress. She's not out in the cold. Yeah. You were trying to block an Empress. This is why you came in pretending that you were an emperor. You thought that this Empress would not recognize. Give me one on this Three of Wands. That Three of Wands in the future, that forward movement that they were stopping. They didn't want you to be able to do your work. They were left with unfinished work, though, because they didn't get the job done. You survived and made improvements and healed. You learned from the lessons. They tried to block your forward movement with force, but they could not. They were lacking control. They wanted you to be out here lacking self-control to fit the picture of a whore, because that's the only way that it could be done. Well, they should have picked another whore. But see, that's the problem. That another whore would not have the energy. They would also not be holding the light. But your defensiveness, refusing to compromise or give up, they were not expecting that. That's why you're not out in the cold. They did all they could to cause procrastinations in your work, delaying your harvest, your growth, your healing, but you survived everything and you learned the lessons, leaving them in despair. They were forceful, aggressive, but they were powerless, lacking control. Something they wanted you to be like. But they were not expecting that you are also stubborn and very defensive. And reason to compromise? For what? Reason to give up? Says who? As Little John say, turn down for what? Are you stupid or dumb? I believe you just inbred. Inbred. Because how dumb? There's nothing more stupid than to try to come up against the divine that safely guided their babies away with the lessons learned. But you thought you were smarter than the divine? Than a divine feminine? Than one who mastered themselves while you don't even know yourself? One that's confident, does not need another soul to give them validation or to give them hand-me-outs, donations, or I need this or I need that. Somebody I can always call to ask for something. Nope, we don't need that. That's codependency. Survival of the weakest. They can't survive unless they have other energy to thrive off of. But see, they're not getting that. So they're stuck. And everybody can smell that cooch. Everybody's been down there. And this 304 apparently thought that every female was like that. Just as this emperor thought that he was the shit. They were both very delusional. They were perfect for each other. Very much so. Very much so perfect for each other. And I am thankful to my ancestors' spirit guides for the day they told me, get that motherfucker out of this house today. That was someone I was with for 5 years, still very much in love with, being blinded by the spell work. But I took the step. I suffered through the hurt of loving someone as though they had died and they're still breathing, still walking. I ended that by free will, by a choice between an asshole or the divine. That wasn't hard. I will take the healing and the growth process the dark night of the soul, as many transformations and transitions needed to do what I'm here for. My lineage, my birthright, my purpose of spreading light, enlightening others of what is behind the scenes, leaving them now going insane in the membrane. All for money, all for gold, actually. Because it's not just about somebody's damn bank account. This is about gold, golden energy, that luge, that adrenochrome, energy, the highest currency on the planet. What's inside of you, inside of us. The jewels, like our teeth, the pearls. They don't tell us things about ourselves. We have to learn them on our own. Because what kidnapper that wants to harvest your energy is going to tell you how to escape? Love, hate, that energy, because they're bipolar. They're not balanced. They're bots. They're NPCs. They're not human. We are able to care. We are able to empathize and feel the pain of others. They cannot. They think like this. Well, if they're dumb enough to fall for it, and I tell them exactly, even if I don't tell them exactly how I'm telling them and what I'm telling them, but I'm still telling them in a way, if they still fall for it, that's their fault, and they get away debt-free from karma, because they tell us. They tell us in movies. They tell us in the commercials. Why is it on Prime Video now that you can't watch a movie without commercials and you pay for that? I'm about to get rid of Prime because I had it, was paying for it, wasn't really watching movies for a long, long time. Decided to watch a movie last night and it had commercials. I said, oh, hell no. And it happened, what was the name of it? It was a great movie about children and a witch, a dirty witch that came into a community, putting spell work on everybody and having people kill other people for her while her hands were not getting dirty. But in the end, she got hers. She made 17 children from a classroom all disappear, and all the dumbass parents was looking at the teacher who showed up in school that day. Never going to all of the children's homes and inspecting them, because if they would have saw the home where the little boy was with the auntie that was the nasty witch. But they never went to the homes until way later. And the witch knew by then. It's ignorance. You said goodbye to all of their offers. They've tried. Your spiritual gifts, your connection with source, your intuition, the things that they hate about you that they want to take and use of yours, because they don't want you to use them. They want them for themselves. But they've not done any work on themselves. This is like taking the file from some high-grade computer system and then putting it in an Android. They're just a shell. They're a vessel being used by the devil. We talk about these earth angels. Well, y'all need to remember these earth demons that are walking in the flesh, that look like us. They've been rejected. And this Ace of Pentacles, What do we need to know? They were doing the sweet talk, trying to get it. And it's shocking news it's not working. Ten of Pentacles, what do we need to know? They use reckless sex to try to cause and connect a cord sexually. That's the fastest, quickest, strongest method to attach a cord to someone. And then they want to say because so many of us are abstinent or restraining from intercourse with others because we understand the energy and the exchange of it, and we refuse to do that any further with ignorant assholes. Why would we? Do you women realize that when you have a man or allow a man to go inside of you, that it does not just stay in there for the week or until you use a little water in there or something? Try 3 years. And then if you get pregnant by the next man and it's been under 3 years, some of that man's DNA from your past is mixed up in there. Research it. That'll get you to cross your legs. And that'll get men to be aware of where they go in between. Because we've gotten a little bit too free will with that sexual energy. And they've been able to abuse it while we were sleeping. But our protection, our guidance, staying focused was our protection. Some, as I said before, got caught up. You'll see them having babies soon without a man, not a emperor beside them. That is not part of a twin flame journey. Do you get what I'm saying? And who the hell says pick a struggle, bitch? Why you have to pick a struggle? You see how the thinking is? Watch how people use their words. Anybody say, well, they gonna have to pick a struggle. Pick a struggle? Are you listening to what you're saying? So that only tells me how your mind thinks and where your heart is. So we know better, so we do better, and we don't give our energy. We said goodbye to them being able to mirror us, to take in our energy as the vampire they are, and emulate us, copy us, because they're trying to be us to the point where they want to erase us, but use our energy while we no longer exist. How does that work, you stupid hoe? And because this asshole fell for the spell, even if he was to be an emperor, he did not pass the test. So therefore, you lost that emperor privilege when you left the empress and you went to this Queen of Wands in reverse. You stupid dude. Well, it was divine purpose. It was part of the plan. Because we all have tests. Those tests on the twin flame journey are not supposed to be a struggle. It's not supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be passing them, not repeating them, not going back and forth. Now, so, do you see how much of a fool you are? And you got people listening to that. Struggle love. Those are all the pick-me bitches that are for the struggle love. Divine feminine are not about struggle love. And we do not chase and we do not wait. We keep moving. We are magnetism of those things that we magnetize to us, of a higher vibration. being in alignment with that frequency. They come in with I love you, wanting to mirror you, wanting to attach to you with promises of forever or lasting love. What do we need to know about this Queen of Wands reverse? Oh, she says she has spiritual gifts. So this is someone that pretends to have spiritual gifts. Man, where is it? There we go. I'm going to make sure these are all in the upright. So this is someone that pretends to have spiritual gifts. What do we need to know about this person? This Queen of Wands in reverse and spiritual gifts. This is nothing but a thug Grinch wannabe that's about to be in handcuffs. What about this? What else about this Queen of Wands that's trapped? Jezebel. Oh, she doesn't. This is Jezebel. Give me another card on this Jezebel that wanted to fall in reverse. Fed up. She can't take it. This family situation. She can't take it. Because you moved away. She cannot mirror you. They can't send anyone in saying that it's love. And this wannabe Queen of Wands in reverse that thinks she hot shit and everybody would want her, so she can't be on camera because that would just distract from her videos. Well, I see a whole lot of pretty women that do tarot that are in front of the video and they get seen and heard. So what I heard was, this is a cocky bitch with another cocky bitch. That's why they got along. Being forced to go within. But they're in a sunken place. They're not going within. They're fed up. They cannot mirror these spiritual gifts. They cannot get a thug to come in and offer you love because you're not accepting any Jezebels, and they're fed up now because they could not cause this for you. This fallen star, or this Queen of Wands, it can go many ways. This Queen of Wands that wanted to block a star, that's a Queen of Cups, that wanted to prevent her justice and block her forward movement, an Empress. By doing all of this, but this Empress is still in the upright. They were not able to block. She will be getting justice. Matter of fact, let me see. Where's that other tarot? Let's get some more tarot on this. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Now, didn't I say they don't understand the levels and ranks which one may hold? Just because they're not out here flapping their gums about how they are, what they are, does not mean they aren't what they are. But see, if you would have really had spiritual gifts, you would know that, wouldn't you? Queen of Wands reverse, that has no gifts but only mirror. What else we need to know about this Queen of Wands that's fed up? That's a Jezebel. That's a thug life Jezebel. They need strength. One card hit the floor. The well in reverse. They're fed up because they're in a sunken place. As I said, with this, the well in reverse. Let's get the book. The well in reverse. Destruction, endings, cold and stagnant. That's where they are. Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You might be looking at what they were trying to do, trying to hold in your laughter, because you're finding it so funny. It's tickling you. You're aware of your worth. Young at heart, free-spirited, youthful, loving, empathic, loving nature. What do we need to know about this emperor that's been rejected? High Priest sideways. In the Six of Cups. He's realizing how he had the High Priestess. And now all he has is the memories because he's been blocked from her. Because he's been rejected, and he knows very much so that he is not allowed in the energy of the High Priestess because she has rejected him and the Holy Spirit has rejected him. And he's stuck in the nostalgia of the memories of the good times. Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, realizing he had everything and gave it up. Ten of Pentacles. How is it that that shows up strongly in this read? They wanted what's yours. They wanted the fruits of your labor. They were daydreaming about it. But see, they were not aware that you were guided. You are royalty, young at heart, but royalty. Something they cannot take away. It's your lineage, not this fucking horse. And I dare you to come and try to take it from my hands, face to face. I dare you, because on the attempt of coming towards me will be your final day. In the reverse, a King of Pentacles and a Knight of Swords. More buddies that they had working with them. That's gotta definitely be a side note. It's over here with the sweet talk, because they had these numbnuts working with them for their money to sweet talk. A lot may resonate with this story, but this is definitely a story I've been living. Fighting a war personally with the devil, trying to drag me to hell. But you know what? I made him into a punk along with her. Yes, I did. Them and their crew are going down. What do we need to know about these two sweet talkers over here? What do we need to know about them? Hermit again. They're forced into isolation along with the Knight of Cups who wanted to make an offer. Yeah, it was a buttload of them. That's why these readings get so clusterfucked and messy. But they're all being made to sit down. Because they cannot mirror our energy. We are not giving our energy to them. Because they say, I love you. Oh, I'm sorry. Take your sorry ass on somewhere. I've peeped every single bitch. If I made a comment on your platform and then you blocked me, and the comment was not harsh towards you, but of truth, you told on yourself, ho. You try to come at me, trying to say that I'm an imposter, bitch, you going down. Because how dare you think because I'm kind-hearted and sweet and stay to myself and don't run my mouth like y'all do, that you could get away with this destruction? But see, this is the thing. I already knew who was on my side. Y'all think y'all getting spell work done on y'all from me? You stupid. You wanted a ruin of me and other divine energies. You wanted us out in the cold. You wanted to suck the life from us. Suck our soul out. You could not trap us. That was a no-go. But you are trapped. Went Queen of Swords on that ass. But I'm still in a Page of Pentacles energy. Free-hearted. Observing. Taking care. No matter how much money, although everything is taken care of for me, I have no worries. That's why I can be so free-spirited and playful, carefree, outside, never in fear. But I bet you guys are now, because I'm still here. Like a lot of others that were guided away, being protected, always being moved on time, at the right time, being guided by Source and protected by our ancestors and spirit guides. You could not trap us. You cannot stop us. And you surely cannot shut us up.